from re-election for her United States Senate seat. Senator Claire McCaskill, welcome back to Big 550 KTRS.
Thanks, McGraw. Thanks for having me.
You got it. How's the campaign going?
You know, I'll be honest, I'm a little tired, but I have, this is my favorite part, when I'm out every day, all day, from very early until very late, and a lot of hugging strangers. You know, it's fun because people, because of all the ridiculous television, they recognize me, and people are so kind. Almost, there's a few people that are jerks, but most everybody is very nice, and it's energizing. It's fun.
Sounds like you went to a radio convention. Most of us are nice, but some of us are jerks.
There you go. There you go.
Over the last 72 hours, the country has gone through quite a bit with this bomber and now this synagogue. As a United States Senator, what are you thinking? What are you saying?
Well, I do think that we all need to turn the temperature down. And it has become very, very tribal and very, the rhetoric has gone places that I frankly never expected it to go. And some of that starts at the top. And so I think it's really important that, and this is self-serving, I'm the first to acknowledge it, but I think it's really important that we send people to Washington who don't see the other side as the enemy. I work with my Republican colleagues. I work across the aisle. That's why I get so much done, because I'm not one of those that just has a knee-jerk reaction that if they're in the other party, they stink. There's so much stuff we agree on, McGraw. There's so many things that we can come together on if we quit trying to demonize. And it's been hard for me in this campaign because the other side has basically just tried to distort the facts and demonize me. And I've gone after Josh Hawley on what he's done with his job on pre-existing conditions. But that's an issue. I have not done a full broadside character attack on him like they have done on me by distorting and lying about my record. So these kinds of politics is what's contributing to this, and frankly, it turns people off. People just don't want to, they're sick of it. And I know people are hungry for us to get together and unite around things where we can make things better for people. And so I hope people realize that I think I can be part of that if they will give me a chance to serve again.
This election, as you mentioned, is a lot about pre-existing conditions. Josh Hawley has said that he is in favor of having pre-existing conditions covered, but it can be done cheaper and less expensive without the Affordable Care Act. What do you say?
No, it's a press release policy. It does not hold up under scrutiny. If this were easy, don't you think the Republicans would have already done it? They preached repeal and replace for years before they got into power. Then they got into power and they figured out it's hard. And the replace proposals they put up couldn't even get enough Republican votes to pass because they were going to be so harmful to people. They were going to be so unpopular, much more unpopular than the ACA. So, and here's the thing about Josh Hawley's deal about pre-existing conditions. He knew when he filed the lawsuit that he was going to wipe out all of the protections that people have. And he knows there's no backup. And all people need to realize is when he went to court in September, the lawyers asked the judge to not make a decision until after November. Now, that tells you pretty much all you need to know. They know, if they win in this case, that there is no backup. There is no safety net. And there will be chaos because there'll be a lot of people in Missouri that may not be able to get their insurance policy at the end of the year because we'll be back to the days where insurance companies can say, no, we're not going to insure you because you might be too expensive because you've been sick before.
What do you think, Senator McCaskill, as you watch these ads, as you're on the campaign trail, what's the biggest misconception about you?
I think the thing that's most hurtful, honestly, is the way they have distorted to make it look like that I would ever vote to help my family, to enrich myself. It's just not true. If you took all of my Republican colleagues in the Senate and you asked them whether or not they believed that, they would all say no. I would never do that, and I have never done that. But they have distorted, they've taken something out of context and tried to make it look like that I was casting votes to help my family. I've never done that. So that's the most hurtful, but probably the most egregious example of the lies they're telling. This is my favorite lie because it's so brazen. I actually was opposed to the bill that they claim was going to raise utility rates. I publicly opposed it. I opposed it on the record. The vote they're citing was a procedural vote to allow debate. And that's all I voted for because I thought maybe we could amend the bill and make it better for Missouri. We didn't. I continued to oppose the bill, and there was so little support for the bill, it was defeated because of that. So the notion that they are running millions of dollars of ads claiming that I did something when I was diametrically opposed to it and using a procedural vote to allow debate, that's how nasty and ridiculous this has gotten.
Do you have internal polls because
Yes.
it seems like everyone left, right, center says your race with Josh Hawley is going to come down to one person and you're going to win or lose on 3 or 4 votes. What are your internal polls saying?
I say that's about right. I really can't stress enough that this is about who shows up. This is about who shows up. And, you know, the other side is trying to paint a picture that he's pulled ahead and momentum is on his side. Ask yourself this. Would Donald Trump come to Missouri twice in 5 days if they thought this thing was put away? He is coming, not only is he coming to Columbia on Thursday, he's coming to Missouri the night before the election. That's how hard they're pushing to try to. And by the way, I think they're frustrated because I think they thought this was going to be easier because Trump won by 20 points in Missouri. So I'm proud of so many people. I just want to thank the thousands and thousands of people that have shown up to canvass and volunteer, and we still need a lot of people. So people can text Claire, my name, to 83224, and we will put them to work in the closing week of this campaign to make sure we get every single vote out.
And you're going to counter with Joe Biden. You're going to do a little rope-a-dope with Joe Biden.
Yeah, Joe Biden's coming. He'll be here Wednesday night. I know it's Halloween, which is, disruptive for people with children that are going to be costumed up that night. But you feel free to wear your costume. It's going to be out. You can go on our website and fill out an RSVP, or go on our Facebook page and fill out an RSVP to come. It's out at the Machinist Hall in Bridgeton in North County.
And then lastly, Senator McCaskill, the passing of St. Louis legend Bob Kelly. Sad news over the weekend.
Yeah, Bob Kelly was my kind of guy because he didn't suffer fools. He said it exactly how he felt it. He was such a passionate combatant for people who take a shower after work rather than before work. He was so passionate about working people in this state. And, he had a huge heart. He was very loyal to his friends. But, boy, if you wanted to talk nonsense to him about the strength of working people in this state, look out. He came after you with everything he had. And I really admired his passion and his spirit. He was a dear friend, and I know we're all going to pay tribute to his life this week, and he sure deserves that tribute.
Senator Claire McCaskill, 1 week to go. Thanks for checking in, and safe travels.
Thanks, McGraw.
8:15 here, Big 550 KT.